Let's divide artificial intelligence kind of into two types. One is where the machine is capable of creative, independent concept that is outside the realm of its prior experience. And so artists might say this is the creative spark. The other world of what is being called artificial intelligence is the one that was in the 80s, was separate from AI and was called machine learning. And this is where you build what's essentially a mathematical concept called a neural network. You get gazillions of piles of data, large amounts of data on, and it does a big massive pattern analysis, and it tunes the neural network by putting different weights on different nodes of information to create essentially a complex decision tree that looks very complex, but for the computer is simple because it's programmable with weighted numbers and symbols. And then it will spit out the most likely or the most predictive pattern that it would generate based on the prior millions of patterns that it's already analyzed. This looks a lot like intelligence because most of the time we are not bothering with creativity, we are bothering with mimicry. And this is, to me, the distinction. The stuff that we see today is largely mimicry based on the gigatrillion terabytes of data that we are voluntarily giving to people like Google and Facebook and Amazon, who are then training their neural networks on all of us. All of the stuff you saw on the RoboFlash team, those were essentially kits of robotic parts. They got a kit of X number, they got 100 parts in a box, and then they could put together things based on the kit. But they didn't have to invent a computer from scratch. They didn't have to, build integrated circuit from scratch. And they had a head start, right, on building something that they could make work. And we were all that way, right? I mean, we all started, 150 years ago from the Industrial Revolution. Somebody had to invent the first something. And that's the creativity that's missing in the current AI. Somebody had to invent the concept of that first Ohm's law circuit, voltage and current and resistance, and the little resistor, and how is it made out of ceramic material with a little lead wire in it and all this stuff. Somebody had to invent all that.